Hello, this is Vulturefire, and I realized earlier that I never quite finished updating Burning Stuntman v4 for the new patch, so I wanted to record another video doing some more trial and error. The version in this video may not be the final version. I'll try and make sure that the actual final version is on the wiki page in the description. But so, one of the big things is Burst of Strength was not common when I last tinkered with this deck, and it is now, and I think that's pretty important. I do still like the adaptative defenses. We still have the heated strikes, the overflows, all of that stuff. I am not totally satisfied with the starting deck. I would like to get more card draw in there, but I think it's fine. I've moved Forbidden Rites out. I think that it is, on balance, too often a net negative. We have Lightning Blade. We still have, like, I moved Bouncing Bolt in. I think that it's actually good. Blood Visions. I don't know that I actually want Blood Visions in there. I think I'd rather have Echoing Bolt because it at least replaces itself, which is nice. I don't think we quite can support Demonic Power. Frenzied Rage is tempting, kind of. We are risking Burn Fatigue, although I'm not totally certain that the deck can support it. And I'm kind of just going to try and keep track going through. I'm not going to go through the whole card pool. I'm going to try and keep track going through of cards that end up never quite doing things for us. One of the other things is I haven't recorded a video with Caitan since Ramparts dropped, or since Weather dropped, and both of those add some new tools that make Caitan considerably stronger. Right, Burning Blade is kind of nice. That turns on Fire Tap more easily. As far as... Okay, so we do have a shot at Enraged Persistence. We might save this reroll token for Enraged Persistence. I think it is that good. We don't really care about either of these cards. Of these cards, if we can get a Lurkin Shadows, that would also be incredible. That's the only card that's like in competition with Enraged Persistence, and I would still probably take the Persistence over it. But Lurkin Shadows is incredible on Caitan. So let's get rolling, see how our first couple fights go. So this will easily set up enough burn that we can Fire Tap. We can set up Mighty. We can get... We're going to need Blades, I think. Oh, no, because we can get Quick Blasts. Because we have all of these. We don't have quite enough damage to get lethal here. I'm kind of hopeful that we can get enough through... Well, maybe not. Maybe it's best to just go ahead and do that. Yeah, still not able to get there even with all of those, all the Vengeance ranks. And that shield was annoying because that prevented us from finishing up the kill. But we got there. I was considering, and I still think it might be worth including a, what's the name of it? A Runic Study in the starting deck. Because if you can get the deck cheap enough, you can then support the Runic Studies. God, this is just such an unfortunate amount of damage out of these. That they don't quite kill. I think we do want to kill you outright, just to prevent the bleed from coming out. Yeah, Burning Stuntman kind of traditionally has had for quite a few versions now this weakness in the early game where we are kind of 50% chance. Hey, rolled it. Where we are kind of much more likely to be taking these extra turns in the first couple fights, and then the deck comes together later. I would like to be able to fix that. I just need to figure out what I want to which cards I want that would help me fix it. And I haven't really figured that one out yet. I do think we may be a bit high on mana in the starting deck. Because that is a thing that, because I am still running a pretty substantial amount of mana, more than I am in most of my other decks these days. Just from, just old habits die hard, basically. So, that doesn't do that much for us. Mana Bolt's pretty good. If we can get it spun up, and Enraged Persistence will help us spin it up. But yeah, definitely very high on mana right now. Way higher than we need to be. Question is, do we need more blades? I think we want to do that first. Pitch that. Yeah, we can use more of those. Because if we can get back into the stance for them, they're just better. Do that first. Get the Vengeance Ring. And yeah, we do not get this kill. I think one of our problems is like we don't have the heavy hitting attacks in the starting list, which is absolutely a problem. We are lacking both the ability to chain stuff. Also, we keep not drawing our power, whatever, in our starting hand, which would be nice. Adjustable Protocol is okay, but Unleash the Storm is just so good. I think we hit one of the strenuous focuses. I think we are high on mana right now. I may end up regretting that later, but we'll see. Okay. So this is not giving us as much as we would like quite yet. Trying to think what I'm going to end up doing here. Because I do want to be able to get mana out of Mana Blast, although I guess it doesn't matter a ton. Yeah, that was a pretty miserable turn one for a Caitan list. We do not have, and that was withdrawing a bunch of cards. We just don't have the damage right now. Yeah. I think we take the Echoing Bolt because it draws a card. I think we upgrade, or I think we don't take any of those. Those are all bad. As far as upgrades go, we don't actually want to upgrade that. I do like Burst Plus. Echoing Bolt Plus is pretty good. I think Arms Race Plus is kind of the best option, although we don't have Great Strikes to go with it yet. Ada Def Plus is pretty good as well, but I may end up cutting one of the adaptative defenses. I may also, Power Burst Plus is probably the best as far as like if we can get our engine rolling. It's just a question of how do we get our engine rolling. We may cut an adaptative defense. It may not be doing enough for us, although again, like that question is, do we need to cut a mana card? I think we're going to let it sit for the moment, although I will keep an eye on how things are going and figure out what needs to change. I think we can pitch that safely. We're just going to copy that because that'll just give us the win. Just a very clean chunk of damage. I like Overthink. I like Duplicitome. Those are both good things to see. Okay, this fight's kind of annoying because they are going to die and then split. Although, if I can find Unleash, yeah, that should just be lethal. We're going to copy it as a safety measure because I may need to play it more than twice. Go. Neither of those are what we're looking for. And that is both of what we're looking for. But I think Enriched Persistence is better, although it does spur us on to wanting to find better strikes. I may actually take Artillery here. I think it's probably okay. Not exceptional, but okay. One slightly awkward thing here is that we end up holding our strikes. I think I may actually Duplicitome these two. So we're going to do that in spell mode. Do that. And then we are going to stance swap. We're going to do it again. Oh, whoops, I forgot I have to play these out first. That is just me making very dumb, easy to fix mistakes. like, I think this will bail us out. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we're now in a much stronger position than we were. Cloudy Cover is also okay, but I think we need the Reckless Assault. Spyglass is good. That'll help us double our card draw. So now we have Spyglass and Duplicitome, which is a great combo to see. And I don't remember if we still have another reroll, but if we do, we're going to spend it on Perfected Strike, I think. Because I don't think we want the other option here. They don't start with Opportunist, which is good. We may need more strikes here. Yeah, I think we do. Let's start with that. So fortunately, the Burning Blade takes away the Purity before whatever happens. That's a perfect time to see that. Although we are absolutely, I think, not getting a turn 1 kill here, most likely. I should have Duplitomed, whatever. Okay, this helps. Although we are now short mana. Now have critical. We are going to Duplicitome this and that. I don't know if we can play everything here, but we have to try. The nice thing is, even if, let's see, we get, okay, this actually works out. I can do that. This does unfortunately leave me with them all with the baby forms alive, but we killed the first couple, so that's good. I think we are absolutely going to Duplicitome that. We'll 4 straws back into our whatevers. There we go. So yeah, slow kill, but we got the kill. Yeah, Perfected Strike. It does cost us mana when we draw it, but it gives it gains us powerful, and it's good to draw later in a turn. I think permanent powerful is okay. And that reduces the amount of mana we lose and increases the amount of powerful we get, which I think those two things are important. And now I kind of want to cut a Heated Strike so that we can get that more consistently, but also I don't want to, because I don't want to risk running out of mana. I think I will cut one of the Adaptive Defenses. All right. I don't know. So unfortunately, we don't have Elemental Amalgam to fight. I think we would take a Mystic Ritual. I don't think we care about the Drake cards, and I don't want to deal with Drakes. And then we're going to go through here and try and pick up... God, I don't think we even want any of those. Divine Hell's okay, I guess. Oh, right, that's going to work like... I forget that that works like that, and it actually is pretty nice for us. Because it means... It also means... That's also very good with Duplicitome. Because every time we do one of these, we get even more powerful. Now we just need to get out. Nope, we are out of mana. That's unfortunate. Should have played out something to use up our mana before I Duplicitome, and I would have had that kill on turn 1. Do we need the Careless Strike? I don't think it's bad. I'll take it. I think I like it more than I like Heated Strike at this point. That's a pretty mediocre upgrade. That's a pretty good upgrade, especially if I've caught one of the Adaptive Defenses. So I don't know if I want to copy this with the passive. I think I do want to copy that. Tell you what, we're copying those two. Here's the plan. That's going to get me damage. There we go. Don't have to do math, just have to play cards. We may be at the point where we're starting to need more mana again. Precarious Draw is nice because it gives us Vengeance. Stinging Strike is also an okay replacement for one of the Heated Strikes. The Mystic Ritual I do want. And maybe, like I said, at a point where we need the mana. That's better than Strenuous Focus, though. Because I know I cut mana earlier. This deck continues to be a kind of careful balancing act that I am not actually amazing at. Okay, this will get us enough space in hand. So we want to discard, we want to use this, which will, I think it either is guaranteed or very close to guaranteed to draw us into that thing. You know, the thing. With the stuff. Perfected Strike. Which will make that our first strike of the turn, which is exactly what we wanted. So the trick here is we want to duplicitome both of these. Oh, whoops. I should have done other stuff first. It's fine, I think. Yeah, that's still going to be lethal. I think we take Blazing Ritual. It is potentially hard to set up, but it is so good if we can. Witty Charm is just an extra card on turn 1, which is nice. And the Frost Rune here from the Ether Rain thing is actually pretty useful as well. And we want to draw cards. Do we pitch that? I don't think so. Maybe duplicitome these two. That'll give us a ton of powerful. I maybe should have saved that until I got Perfected Strike out. Neither of those is Perfected Strike. How many strikes are in the deck? Just the one. So we discard one, we'll redraw it. I don't know that we actually want to, but it's fine. This will get us out 2 Perfected Strikes, and it'll do just pretty ludicrous damage. Alright, we can then do this to kill. We are at 23 temporary powerful, which is an okay amount. And yeah, this is basically less Caitan and more... I mean, some of it is Caitan because I'm using Caitan's passive, but the bulk of what is going on here is just Perfected Strike abuse. I think that is done for us. This is okay, but not better than what we have. I think we need this upgrade if we're going to keep using this, but I'm not sure we're going to keep using it. I think we want the Arms Race upgrade the most. And then we may cut, we're going to cut one of the Heated Strikes. I'm debating between the event and taking this fight, because we don't care about these cards, and the event here can have some very good things. That is not very good things. I need to try a version of Burning Stuntman where I'm using that thing that I'm not using right now. So we don't have any strikes in this hand, which is a little unfortunate. And we are going to do this and then pitch one of those. All right, that's a strike. I would like, obviously, to keep the doubling up, but I'm willing to do this if necessary just in order to get things out. So let's draw our card. That's going to be lethal. And that's going to give us infinite mana. And we're good. And I kind of mentioned this earlier in the run that the Caitan deck is at its weakest in area 1, because once we can find any of our pieces, we can just go to town. You know, we're already holding most of our stuff. Oh, and this fight's great because we just get to stack up so much Vengeance. So every time we hit anything, we get Vengeance. And then we're going to duplicate those. It's going to cost us 4 mana, but it's going to do a substantial amount of damage. And then we have easy win. Take 100 bites if it's offered. Absolutely. Permanent Chakra is pretty nice. And I think because we have 100 bytes, we can probably afford to cut another one. I think the adaptive defense is, at this point, pretty underwhelming. We still haven't actually drawn the Overflow Plus yet. Alright, so there's that going off first. Which admittedly can be a little bit of a concern. Okay. So I'm now at this awkward point where what I want to do is I want to use... I have a lot of things I want to do that don't quite work together. I think step one is this. I'm debating if I want to dual tome this or the Perfected Strike. You just play that. Get more powerful. Alright, we can finish this off basically at any point by just playing these out. And yeah. Very easy and straightforward. Twinning Ritual is pretty good. I will take a Twinning Ritual, I think. Light and Communion, though, with our... That's actually very good with our permanent Shock Rune. And then we will upgrade... I think that's our upgrade now. I don't have anything I super feel like cutting. We're just moving on. And we were going through here because, first of all, we obviously want to get either of those. They're both great. But on top of that, yeah. So this is interesting because I know that I've seen this here, but when I was looking at the collection, I don't think it was showing it like this. So I need to ask if that's a bug or a deliberate nerf. Because I talked about that in the weather video and the weather guide as a forthcoming nerf. And I haven't seen anybody else talking about it, so I don't know. Anyway, then, but this is pretty good because that's 3 damage to us. We don't care. This is also okay, especially with the Burning Blade. Let's start here. Turning Gunk is not amazing, but it's not terrible. Spyglass this. Cool. That's what I wanted to see. Although, it does have the slight downside of having completely filled our hand. But I like doing that while we have whatever. So that's going to shuffle, draw us back to this, because it's the only thing we can possibly draw. I think we're good to just do this. There we go. Kind of tough just because our hand was getting completely filled, but I think another overthink makes sense. We do want to be able to consistently draw. That's okay, I guess. Doesn't do a ton for us, but it does a little bit. You're a jerk. You may be impossible to kill. See what we can draw. I realized that there was something kind of ironic about me saying you're a jerk when I am planning to do some truly heinous nonsense, but I forgot to use this while we were set up. Okay. And this is very unfortunate timing to draw that because we are not even in a position to get any value from that right now. I can kill you at least though. And take a bunch of damage. Yeah, we got very, very, very unlucky on those draws there. We needed to find either of our overthinks or the Mystic Ritual there, or even the Enraged Persistence would have done it, and we just didn't. Duplicate those two, because that one's just going to be free, which is kind of what we need. And then we will pitch that. Sets you down. We can just do that, actually. There we go. Hunter's Focus is great. It is a mana card that gives us powerful. You are a jerk who might ruin our day. But we have to just accept the fact that we might get attacked here, I think. Oh, right. The wits. I was thinking that we had an extra turn until an extra card we could play until that happened. I forgot about the wits. So it looks like I think we were just going to have to charge into taking that hit again. We can do this, I think. Alright, there's the perfected strike. Gets us all the mana we're going to need for the fight. There we go. So we only took one opportunist hit. Ravenous Intent is actually okay. It doesn't outright draw us cards, but it gives us Vengeance, which is pretty good. This can be useful. Oh, cancel. Do we want to remove anything? Fire Tap's a little awkward sometimes, because getting it started can be tricky. Wait and observe. Do not care about anything from that event. Alright. This being effectively free is nice. Kind of want to do this as our first. I think we have to actually get that out just to get enough stuff going, get enough space in hand. This wastes the draw, but I think it's kind of where we're at in terms of what we have to do. There's that. Turns that on. That's a pretty good way to use up a shock. So the thing is, I want to play this, but if I do, we lose all of our mana, which is not what I want to have happen. Okay, let's do that. Which will throw us into spell mode. There we go. Is Gamble Plus better, or is Font Plus better? I think Gamble. Discard, upgrade Gamble. The Bouncing Bolt may be ready to go. It's kind of not really where we want to be most of the time. I mean, I think Bouncing Bolt can go. It's not bad, but it isn't what we need. There's no reason to take this snail fight. It's just going to be pointlessly difficult for no gain for us, basically. Okay. Another very unfortunate hand. Okay, here we get this at least. So if we copy this, we explode, which we ideally don't really want to do. May duplicate this. Actually, that makes some amount of sense to me. So our first spell this turn is going to be this. Or not first spell, just our level 10 passive trip is going to be that. We can do that, which will get us that set up. By doing that, we now get the full bonus there. And here comes Perfected Strike being a completely decent card. I think this is not what we want. Do I want to spend my reroll here, though, becomes the question. I think the answer is no, and I think I do want Incinerate more than I want the other cards on offer. This does draw us cards. The exhaustions can be annoying, but I think it'll be fine. I haven't talked at all about like what this weather event is doing because we just don't care. I think the only question here is whether or not I want to do like the real assert dominance play, which is oh, I can't do it because we used up the Scorching Winds. First card you play turn will be removed passive on Perfected Strike, which doesn't actually remove it. But I was like, do I want to just like remove that and just kind of laugh at the concept of that I might possibly care about what's going on. How many strikes do we have? 1, 2, 3. Okay, because I was trying to figure out if I could pitch this and just be guaranteed to get it back with enraged persistence, and the answer is no. So at which point the question is, I think I do duplicate 2 of these. That's going to just fill my hand with treasures? Oh, it's not, huh? Oh, because our hand was already full. I mean, that makes sense, I guess. Oh, that's awkward. God. Just don't have any space in hand. You absolute jerk. Delicious. There we go. Yeah, Cinder Barrage is amazing. We're probably just going to upgrade Cinder Barrage, I think. Neither of those does anything for us. Upgrade Cinder Barrage. And the other thing is, like, it's hard to tell how much of my deck building choice, like, it's very, I feel like it's hard to evaluate my deck building choices when the run is going like this, where it's like, did anything I did even matter? You know? I want to duplicate this, but I'm not going to duplicate it, but I am going to Spyglass it. I think I'm fine discarding that because I'll just get it back. So that's going to trip this twice, as we do. Trying to get the best way to abuse stuff. I think we play this, like actually play it, so we can get it back. And then we do that again? Sure. That seems a little sketchy. We may end up just running out of mana here. Look at all that damage we get to do. So the bigger problem is like that used up all of our burn that we were going to use for this. Okay. I think we duplicate those 2, because this will kill the front one, and then we can just get, because this will draw us cards. Let's leave this in a kind of awkward position. Now we can play that. We're good to go. Just know that we'll be able to play it. Indeed we cannot, but Cinder Barrage is going to do completely reasonable things. That's why Cinder Barrage is in the deck. Stinging Strike is okay. We're just going to cut the other burning, whatever. So if we can get a Cinder Barrage, there's Cinder Barrage, so now we just need stuff to go with it. Which is not this hand. It might be this hand. Although that is, of course, going to trip you. I need Powerful to go with things. So that turns that on. This is only 60 damage, which is just not enough. But okay, this seems like an okay place to be. I think this will do 5 to us, but it is also going to do 60 to these guys, which is almost enough, and then that will do. Finishing off you, most importantly. Get some mana back. this is only doing a relatively pitiful amount of damage. But we are no longer under the shadow of whatever. So we're not even going to have to Cinder Barrage ourselves again. Okay. I think another Blazing Ritual makes sense. Did we cut the other? No. Other Heated Strike is gone now. Do not need it. I don't think any other things need to go. Ravenous Intent is... I think the Echoing Bolt is pretty superfluous. The Sting Strike is largely just there like as damage defined with whatever. I think it's doing an okay job at that. I think the Unleash we don't need going into Violator. Reroll. This is better than Witty Charm because we now have temporary wits and we only have the one more fight, so that'll handle all of that. We're hoping to get a Mighty buff here. That's kind of why I'm taking... Oh, whoops. I should have looked at removals. Yeah, I continue to be kind of deliberately a bad player as far as removing things goes. I'm just going to assume that we're good to go. I'm pretty confident we can turn one this. It's possible we'll fail, but I don't think I duplicate. Well, I think it does make sense to duplicate these two because I think we want to access. And then I think I'm even going to Spyglass this because I think like the only way we lose here is that we just stop being able to play cards, and that kills us. So the way that we avoid that is by making sure we can play cards. So that sets up this. Oh, but we don't really want to waste our... Well, I guess it's fine. We want to shock you. That'll do it. Which means that's now online, which means that's now online, which means the hand is now fully unlocked. And we're now at 100% crit chances for everything. So. We do still need to get Mighty, but we can get that. Oh, we can get Mighty right now. There we go. We'll do that eventually, but not yet. I want to get the powerful out of that, I think. I probably don't need the powerful out of that, but I want it. Here's this is finally. Showing up kind of late to the party. The other thing, though, is like I'm trying to avoid... So at this point, the shock doesn't matter a ton relative to all the other buffs we have. So the question becomes, do I... have to get rid of at least some cards in hand here? I am super planning overkill here, though. Like, this probably kills. Or gets close. Yeah. It gets close, at least. And then all the mana we could ever need. Yeah. So I like this version better, but I'm still not totally satisfied with it. I don't love how much of this run came down to cards that aren't in the card pool. You know, like the key cards here were Perfected Strike, Cinder Barrage, Enraged Persist. Like the key two are like Enraged Persistence and Perfected Strike with these two items, which is not where I want to be. But the deck did work, and the deck is supposed to work. So I'll keep playing with it. Like I said, I will, if I do refine it further, I will update my deck list on my wiki page that you can see, which will be linked in the description. Until then, that is it for now. I will see you next time. Toodles.